But let's get into some nerdy news.
Yes.
Bit of a smaller week this week
I was
because the
going to
news
say,
has been
not as
dominated by
much.
the Oscars.
True.
But let's get started. Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man and X-Men 97 Seasons 2 are both targeting a 2026 release, with Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man targeting a yearly release cycle for each new season. Imagine a world where you get a new season of your favourite TV show every goddamn year.
We're also meant to be getting Daredevil Born Again Season 2 in 2026, so it's like, all of them are hitting yearly releases, which is great.
It's going to be chaos. Me and Hori aren't going to be able to leave our rooms in 2026. It's going to be great.
Yeah, make sure we're getting paid by then.
Yeah. Don't forget to like and subscribe. The Lord of the Rings Hunt for Gollum film has been delayed a year to December 27. Initially, it was due December 26. It happens, not a massive shock.
Yeah.
I'm used to stuff getting delayed for a year now.
Yeah.
I'd be more shocked if something came out when it said it was going to.
Yeah.
The Lanterns TV show, which we got our first teaser picture of, nothing crazy, but we got a picture, is said to be trying to make the characters accessible to people unfamiliar with the mythos, while also satisfying those who know it forwards and backwards by delving into the characters both as lanterns and as people. I don't feel like I come across as positive as I try to be. And I don't know if that's because you guys love ribbing me for being a negative dude, or if maybe I do come across a lot more negative than I mean to, whichever. I'm trying to approach stuff like this with a positive mindset. The fact that they are trying to make the Lanterns as open to as many people as possible, while also satisfying the people who love the Lanterns, is a good thing. Whether they stick to the landing or not, it obviously remains to be seen. But the fact that that is what their goal is good.
Yeah, I mean, and this came with them putting out a first look picture, didn't they?
Yeah.
Of which everyone was like, why are they in normal clothes? This isn't very Lanterns. I want this, like, and show comic book pages of, like, different Green Lanterns doing all the different projections and stuff. And it's like, if we get that's what you want, but like you say, their goal is to try and be as open for everyone. If the first look is it looking super comic booky, instantly you're going to turn off a bunch of people that will just, because they're not, like, whether they're right or wrong, don't think comic book stuff is good, they'll just go, oh, don't want to watch that. Whereas you give them like a normal, like, oh no, this is good TV. Like, these are still normal people. This is going to be more than just a comic book stuff. You've got more chance of keeping those people interested.
Absolutely. Bit of an update on the Kathleen Kennedy situation.
Yes.
Kathleen Kennedy has said she is not retiring, but has been looking at eventual successors, and when it's time, there'll be an announcement months or even a year before she hands over the reins, and she's committed to being there to help the new person take over. So, what that screams to me is yeah, they are looking into replacements, because someone that important, you have to be planning ahead.
Yeah.
And someone has taken the news that they are considering who would do a good job and gone, she's out the door any second now. And she's just gone, we're looking at who could do the job.
Yeah.
It's not happening today. Relax.
I never expected it to be happening quickly. I get she's saying she's not retiring, but you're essentially, unless you're moving on to a different role, you're stepping away from this. Like,
I don't think when she said she's not retiring, she means that she's staying forever. I think she means the plan right now is not I'm retiring at the end of 2025. I'm staying here, but yes, of course, we're always. I'm aware that I'm not an immortal god. Someone's going to need to keep the lights on once I do decide it's time. Do you want us to make that decision when it's too late?
Yeah, I imagine there's also a bit, like with all these C-level jobs, it's never as straightforward as this person is actually standing down from their own accord. There's probably a bit of pressure of like, things haven't been going great at Star Wars. Like, this is, like, and she'll be aware of that. And it's like, look, we need to think about what's next. And if that isn't including you, who are we putting there? Sort of thing.
This next bit is something that didn't need to make the news, but you know what I'm like, Corey. I enjoy this kind of stuff, and I think what he's saying here is valid.
Mm-hmm.
So Francis Ford Coppola, iconic legendary filmmaker who took a long hiatus, came back with Megapolis last year.
Mm-hmm.
It bombed. It happens. Has made this, in my opinion, iconic statement while he was accepting his Razzie on Instagram. He
Okay.
said, "So few have the courage to go against the prevailing trends of contemporary movie making. In this wreck of a world today, where art is given scores as if it was professional wrestling, I choose not to follow the gutless rules laid down by an industry so terrified of risk that despite the enormous pool of young talent at its disposal, may not create pictures that will be relevant and alive 50 years from now." Now, it is completely fair if you want to read this as someone who's a bit salty that they've been told they made the worst film of the year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's making some very good fucking points here.
Mm-hmm.
Art is inherently supposed to be risky,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, film and TV, although they are art forms, have been turned into this thing of cancellation. Is it going to make us money?
Well, yeah, it's just becoming to a
And
money thing.
IGN going, "We think this film is a 7, meanwhile it's the greatest thing you've ever seen."
Yeah.
I I find it difficult because Francis Ford Coppola has made a multitude of phenomenal films.
Hmm.
So his latest film being bad, according to people, I've not seen it. I am still tempted to see it at some point because it does sound wacky and out there.
Yeah.
I'm kind of. It's not like it's some 21-year-old Jeff Bezos' son, for instance, who's got all the money in the world, decided he wanted to make film, and then he's gone on Twitter whining about cancel culture.
Yeah.
Francis Ford Coppola's gone, "It's okay if you think my film's bad, but I stand by what I've made because it was truly me trying to make art." I think that's kind of badass on what art needs.
Well, yeah, he's like, if you're taking this as him being salty, I think you understand it wrong. He's saying, yeah, I had the courage to go make what I wanted to make, which is not what
What,
this industry wants us to do anymore.
what have you done
Okay,
this year?
okay, it didn't go well. I still made what I wanted to make.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, part of me wants him to go, "All those who are laughing at me for making a film that's been a failure, what film did you make this year?"
well, it's like, he can just go back and be like, yeah, this is one miss in how many dubs. Like, art's not always going to resonate with everybody. That's just what art is. It's interpreted by different people in different ways. This time, what he felt was good didn't resonate with the same people that normally would, and it's just art. I mean, it's a
It
failure.
happens.
It's just art.
I just feel like this film is so batshit crazy when I eventually do get around to watching it, which might take years because it is me. Um, I feel like I'm going to end up loving this film. Being like, "They told me this sucked. It's awesome. What do you mean?"
I think out of all of that, the line that I like the most is that may not create pictures that will be relevant or alive in 50 years, considering how many of these studios nowadays are just, look at Warner Brothers, pull the plug on things that are done and they just chuck them away, or Netflix cancelling all these shows after a season. Like, yeah, it's. I also feel like there's a sly dig at AI in there with the mention of how much young talent there is, but yeah, they're all.
Yeah, and
winning.
let's be clear, he can't. Like, other than Adam Driver, I don't think he had too many like A-list actors in his film. He casted a lot of young talent.
Mm.
He did. He went out there and he found actors. Like, I'm not saying it was a good film. I'm not saying he's necessarily just making a good point here. It isn't a little bit upset at how it was received. I'm sure he is a bit upset that people didn't like it. That's natural. But I also think he's making some incredibly valid and worthwhile points here. And
Yeah.
I always love it when a genuine artist talks a bit of shit. One day I wish to be a real artist so I can talk some shit. We got the Bear season 4 teaser trailer, all like 10 seconds of
I was
it.
gonna say,
It was enough.
very, very small teaser, flashing a few moments, and the audio of I forget the actress's name. Io, saying like her character being talking about how the family in the kitchen is more than just a work family.
Yeah.
Which I think, we expected this after season 3. Things were like just ready to just explode with how it was going.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of it'd be cool to see this season be them kind of re-finding that family love and get back to
Absolutely. I'm very
enjoy.
excited for the Bear season 4.
It's going to be good.
I'm hoping it can keep up the streak it's on.
Oh, I believe.
What I want 6 seasons of this caliber, and then they dip out, and I go, wow, that might be one of the greatest TV shows of all time. Because if they manage to do 6 seasons and dip out without being dog shit by the end, I get to go, one of the greatest TV shows of all time is now not about crime and murder. It's about fucking sandwiches in Chicago.
It's about cooking.
Yeah, like that. And it might seem weird, but that's what I want more from the show than anything else.
No.
But yeah, it's exciting. Let's fucking go. I don't know if this is good news or bad news. I've got to be honest. I think you can read this bit of news either way. So Walt Disney Animation is no longer going to be developing any original long-form content for Disney Plus.
I see.
Does that mean they're focusing on films?
I see that as them. Basically, the focus of it being about Disney Plus to me goes, they're not going to make any long form animated stuff that goes straight to Disney Plus, which means they're focusing on their Walt Disney animated films. Which
that's, I think, the way I would want to. Yes,
yeah.
If that is the case, I think that's good news. But because it's not explicitly said they're turning their attention on making films again, it scares me a little bit. With the animation strikes that have been going on and AI and stuff like that, that's where I'm concerned. I'd really like them to go, by the way, that's because, ironically, this is the longest we've gone without winning an Oscar for an animated film in like forever, and we'd like to win some more.
Yeah, I also think I can't name any original Disney Plus like long form things that were animated. Like I can't. There's none that like come to mind where I was like, oh, that went straight to Disney Plus, which says a lot about what they made.
Yes, but yeah, I'm choosing right now to interpret that as they're going back to trying to make films after the success of like Inside Out 2. They realised animation's actually never been in a better state in cinema, which feels insane to say when cinema seems like it's in such a bad way, but animation's never been getting such a wide appreciation.
Yeah.
So hopefully that means we're going to get some proper Walt Disney animated shit.
I would like to see it.
I really don't know what this next one is. This might have been Vin Diesel getting drunk at an Oscar party. I really don't know.
I read this and I was like, Connor's going to be not happy about this.
Vin Diesel's claimed he's developing a Groot movie. Now, let me be clear. Marvel have not said at any point that this is in the works. And he said that he is developing this. That gives me the impression that he's decided he wants to make this film and he's writing a script to try and sell to Disney. Now, I have my feelings about Vin Diesel. I have my feelings about Groot. They are separate feelings. I love one, I hate the other. Not hate, dislike greatly. I don't see a world in which a Groot solo film works even a little bit.
I struggle to see, considering we know that Planet X was other megafauna beings not being good and being generally evil. I don't see Disney being okay with their fan favorite, cute, now turned older tree thing that goes, I am Groot all the time, being portrayed as from an evil race.
Yeah. And also, you either have no dialogue make any sense for the entire film, or you drop the entire I am Groot stick and destroy the character in public perception.
Well, yeah, the only way around it is you have to have supporting characters like Guardians does, which makes the I am Groot thing work because they essentially repeat what he said as an answer.
Yes. They give you the context you need.
The thing to add to this as well, because I've gone and found the Discussing Film tweet about it, the quote is, Disney wants their Planet X, which some say is Marvel's most anticipated movie.
Does this not sound like a quote he said while off his face on alcohol and maybe other things at an Oscars party?
Well, this just sounds like when people ask him about Fast and Furious, and he's like, "Oh, we're gonna make all the spin-offs. Like, this is the biggest franchise. Everybody wants spin." And like, it's just them chatting. Like, I think you're right. He's just got this idea of a film, gonna start writing it, gonna go to Disney and be like, "Look, I know you've been wanting this film. You've been wanting to do a group film. Here it is." And Kevin's gonna go,
Who let you in?
"What the fuck are you on about? Do you pay attention to what's going on with Marvel? We're soft resetting, mate. You're on the out."
You'll be lucky if you get to even re-record I Am Groot lines, you motherfucker. Go crush another car and pretend you're a superhuman.
We're Disney. We've got your voice on AI now if we really wanted to. Yeah, wild.
And finally,
Oh.
an Andor season 2 trailer.
And then it's another teaser, and like
We have never been so fucking back. Now, the way this works with me and you is we both love Star Wars. You've got the mystical side down to a T. That's your wheelhouse. You fucking adore that shit. I love the geopolitical bullshit of Star Wars. I nerd the fuck out over that. And unfortunately, right now, I think for the most part, my side of Star Wars is kicking your side's ass. Because Andor is some of the best TV Disney Plus has made full stop.
I mean, Ahsoka. I've put Ahsoka at the same level. I know you put Andor above.
I don't think the average person enjoyed Ahsoka as much as Andor. But still,
I know what you mean.
Regardless of that, Andor kicks ass. And we're getting ready for season 2. I do have my issues with the launch pattern, which we discussed last week, and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, as long as they give me more rebellion shit, more fuck the people in power shit, and some more kick-ass like monologues that make me want to run through a brick wall and punch fascists in the face, I'm down. Because the world kind of needs it right now.
I think you're going to get all of those things.
So do I.
The recent teaser also had a bit of the like behind the scenes when they do discussions, TV spot style stuff. They mention one thing I picked out on the mention is like they said there is rebellion stories happening all around the galaxy, and we're seeing those perspectives. So that explains the like year jumps. It's obviously going to be like, oh, now this rebellion story happened. Time jump. This is now happening over here. How are all these things building up? The big one that people who, I didn't know this because it's Legend stuff. I don't really know the Legend stuff very much. There is a thing from in Legends and the books and stuff of the Gorman massacre. People have worked out from what has been shown in this teaser, we are going to get to see this. Now, in Legends, this is an event where stormtroopers slaughter peaceful protest as a display of power. Also in Legends, Tarkin lands his ship on top of the protesters and kills them. I don't know if we get to see that.
No, I don't think
it's Disney, but you never know.
But it's going to be their interpretation of the Gorman massacre, which is
we are going to
be
see
interesting.
Stormtroopers absolutely blitzing a crowd of protesters. Yeah, I mean, I'm so excited for this. It's going to be the visuals on these trailers are stunning. In this TV spot, they mentioned they went to X amount of location. Like these sets are on location. They're huge. Like
they look gorgeous. From someone like the BTS they used to show the scale of these sets. I mean, Andor season 1 was gorgeous, and it looks like they've stepped it up.
Oh yeah, I mean, all the outfit design and stuff as well looks incredible. Like, I
need it. I forget his name. Stellan Skarsgård? Is it Stellan? Is the dad?
I think
Stellan's... so. Yeah, I need another one of them speeches like I fight for a sunrise that I'll never get to see. I need Stellan Skarsgård to get... I need an episode of him giving a monologue like that in an armchair staring down the camera.
The sad thing is, right, this is the last season of Andor.
Yes, it is. But it's fine, because when this finishes, I'm going to go back and rewatch Rogue One. And have a new love for it.
I just want Disney to go to the directors and the writers of this show and everyone that's made this look so beautiful and just be like, please start writing the next thing. We'll get whatever it is. Please, just more. We need something for these fans. Because it's going to be sad knowing that we're not going to get enough, like more of this. But
Do you know what I need? Idea
Oh.
for Disney.
okay,
Suits, but Star Wars.
Suits but Star Wars.
Make it happen.